Do you want to improve your game? The average athlete spends about 6 to 10 hours a week practicing for their sport. However, for many of the top varsity players, this just isn't enough. We aim to create a product that will develop the crucial ball control skills while making the many hours labored away at practice as enjoyable as possible.
Next into the tank is Austin Carroll, Eric Carter, and Connor Lord. Austin is a versatile student taking AP level physics, calc, and stats, as well as a 3-sport varsity athlete and a captain of the volleyball team. Despite having 2 jobs and 3 younger siblings, Austin still makes time to participate in many clubs and honor societies, such as Model UN and DECA. Eric is an honors biology intern who has recently received school board funding to construct a live exhibit to show the evolutionary process and has taken several AP classes in both STEM and the humanities. Additionally, he is working towards his Eagle Scout and is a current finalist for the position of both varsity wrestling captain and sports director at YMCA Camp Lincoln. Connor is an honors and AP student that is an officer in the Science National Honor Society and is also a member of the Math National Honor Society. And he was awarded a coveted internship at BAE Systems, along with a spot at Georgetown University Institute program. While playing on the varsity soccer team, along with the basketball team, Connor is a representative in the student government and is able to participate in many clubs at the high school, including DECA, Model UN, and SALT.
Good evening, Sharks. My name is Connor.
I'm Austin.
And my name is Eric.
And we're asking $350 to pursue our product this evening.
We are the creators of KickSmart, the new smart soccer ball. As you can see in our video, Austin needs a lot of extra practice time.
Our interactive soccer ball will help with a crucial dribbling skill development for many beginner and advanced players.
The toy market is projected to grow by $9 billion in the next 5 years, and the youth sports industry is projected to grow by $22 billion in the next 5 years. Our product will find a niche in both of these environments and will be extremely successful.
In 1996, a toy called Bop It completely took over the toy industry. The soccer ball we hope to create will work very similar to this toy. To give you a better visual of just how much fun the Bop It truly is, we've brought one with us today.
Twist it. Bop it. Twist it. Out. Nice going.
As you can see, this is a very simple toy. However, it has sold 30 million units worldwide. The soccer ball we hope to create will work very similar to this toy, but also incorporating the core and important soccer skills.
As soccer players ourselves, we realize that the first touch is a crucial part to success on and off the field. Most of our practices involve juggling and sending balls to each other in the air to work on this crucial first touch.
Our soccer ball will have multiple modes for single player and group play to help incorporate this very important and crucial first touch skill.
Our ball's pre-programmed modes will help cultivate these certain skills. Some modes will allow for singular players to work on their own development, while other modes will allow for groups of players to juggle while the KickSmart calls out certain commands.
Our KickSmart ball will be made of a synthetic leather material like most soccer balls, and will have different sensors in the middle to detect where the ball is and how hard it is at any given time.
As seen above, underneath this layer of synthetic leather will be a rubber bladder filled with air that will act as a cushion to protect the delicate equipment at the very center of the ball, while also giving our soccer ball the natural bounce and feel we're all so used to.
After conducting our own market research, we identified that mostly high school students, along with parents of young children, are interested in this product. 64% of our responses said that they'd be interested in buying our product for either themselves or someone they know.
The sports industry and backyard games such as Can Jam and Spikeball are growing, and they're only gonna grow bigger. Our product will forge a niche in both of these given environments.
So, Sharks, we're ready to start our journey to the World Cup, but the real question is,
are you ready to kick smart?
Let me apologize first. I'm sorry. I'm not quite grasping what it is you're offering because you use the term soccer ball and then you use the term toy. And to me, soccer ball and toy don't go together. because a soccer ball I'm using to kick around, either by myself or with a group. A toy is something I'm playing with. So I'm just trying to, if you could, or unless someone else can explain it to me, what it is you're.
So this soccer ball will give us multiple uses, not only for just training athletes to help develop the skills they need, but also for little children who need the enrichment. This ball will give out many commands to either kick it or pass it or juggle it.
So it looks like a soccer ball, though, right?
Yes.
It kind
Yes.
of appears. So can we pull the image back of the core, the little gray 3D model? So you mentioned that there's a middle part that has the electronics, and that's the brains of the ball, and then there's an air cushion, and then there's the exterior. What is holding the electronics in the middle of the ball?
So within the very center of the ball, there's a core plastic shell that'll help hold all the equipment in place.
What keeps it from bouncing around inside the ball?
It'll be attached to this core plastic shell, so when the ball is kicked, the core isn't ruptured or disturbed too much.
So essentially, there's a solid core.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect the way the ball reacts to kicking or passing. Like
The,
how,
the
how
bladder
big-
is like airtight, so like it's not gonna move around.
How do you charge it?
So the way we charge it is the bladder is not completely encircling the full ball. So there's going to be a tube that connects the core of the ball to the outer edge, and we'll have a charging and docking station similar to the Adidas Smart Ball.
What if I kick the connector?
So over the connector will be a foam implant that can be removed. So while the ball is in use, it's not revealed to the exterior, but you can remove this outer shell to help charge it.
How do I control it? How do I change modes?
It'll like connect to your phone with like a Bluetooth app that you can download that's like free on the App Store or Android store.
Talk to me more about what's special about it. So we got this computer in the middle of a ball that's stable, people are playing, you said it's gonna shout out commands? I mean, what's it gonna,
So there's a
what's it gonna
speaker.
do?
There's a speaker that.
Yeah, so what we're aiming to do is a lot of practice times, like before practice, there's not always coaches around. So we wanted to develop a way that kids could practice on their own and better develop their skills. So we came up with the Smart Ball so that you don't need a coach around telling you what to do when. So we'll have the speaker with the program modes to tell us, oh, kick the ball, head it.
Where's the speaker?
So we've come up with 2 ideas for this. One of them was to have it through a Bluetooth connector connected to your phone. And the other way, which we don't think would work very well, would be actually inside the ball, but that would make it too heavy.
So if you're playing with this smart ball, you have to have your phone on you. You have to be carrying your phone either in your pocket, on your wrist, or your armband, or something, right? Because otherwise it couldn't talk to you.
Yeah.
You could always wear earbuds and Bluetooth.
But your phone's
Yeah,
gonna.
but, I mean,
your
No, I know,
phone's
but
gonna
you have to
be-
pair. Once you get a pair, then you wouldn't need the phone.
So if we were looking at the gray ball picture, I like that you guys kind of made a stab at sort of visualizing what we're doing, but I would love to see it just a little bit more fleshed out, a little more like, button here, charging dock there. Like it sounds like the core of the electronics isn't actually in the center of the ball, it's like pushed off to one side, is that right? Because it has to be flush up against the wall so that you can get to the charging port, or maybe not?
No, so the core of the soccer ball is at the very center. However, we're having a tube that will connect it to the outer edge so it could be charged.
Have you considered inductive charging so that you don't need to do that?
No, we'd be open to that though. I mean, it's only in like prototype stages right now. We could adjust.
But I'm more concerned about why the core. Like, what's happening with the ball, guys, that the intelligence needs to be inside the ball, right? So, and I bet there is, like, I just want you to tell me, because right now I was just saying, it sounds like I could just make a good soccer coaching app, you know what I mean, and synchronize it, and it's a, just an app, which is, by the way, a great idea in itself, but tell me what the ball does.
So our idea was if it was on like the outer edge of the ball, you could damage the technology. So if we put it in the middle, inside the bladder, it'd be like less.
Yeah, but what's it doing,
Yeah,
though?
what does the ball do?
What's the ball
What's
do?
the
So it's
purpose
got
of the
like
electronics?
accelerometers and capacitive displacement sensors inside the ball to detect like how high it is off the ground. So it can tell if you're kneeing it or kicking it or heading it. and it can like give you measurements and how hard it's kicked and.
See, now this
that
is
kind of
good stuff. I mean, this is the good stuff right there. That's the good
Right.
stuff. Not just that it tells me to kick it,
Yeah.
but, you know, for those in the room who don't play soccer, why is it important to know if I'm kneeing it or kicking it? Or what kind of information can I learn about that that'll make me better? Can you tell us more about that?
About kicking velocity, speed, height, I mean,
Yeah,
the
so-
arc of the ball going in the net, those are all important statistics
Yeah.
for,
So we can detect like how hard, so based on like how much air pressure is like moved and stuff, how hard it's hit, you can like tell how much force is put into the ball, how hard you're kicking it, you know, that kind of stuff.
So in their defense, if they try to get accelerometer information, for example, out of the ball, they don't have enough bandwidth to do the calculating outside the ball. So it would have to be done inside the ball.
Right.
Yeah, but-
What was left at the beginning, during the whole presentation until just now, none of that came out.
Right.
That it was measuring and providing feedback. All we heard was it was directing.
Right.
And so that makes a totally different product. That
Right.
goes from being a toy to being a real,
To training tool.
a training
tool, yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
very different.
You guys see that, right?
Yeah, of course.
So tell us more about the cool stuff that it does besides that, and why it's important to you as athletes. Like, what would you want from this?
So as a volleyball player, it could be used for multiple sports besides soccer, right? So if my setter sets me the ball, right, and I'm hitting, it can tell me to hit line or hit cross or, you know, tip it over the block. You know, it can be used for multiple different sports and different aspects of the sport. And we can implement all different technology and stuff into that, like how hard I'm hitting it, how much rotation's on the ball, that kind of stuff.
So you do realize that it can't tell you how much rotation is on the ball because it only can tell you about accelerations. So there's some issues there about accuracy. It can only tell you about approximately what it's doing, unless you put an amazing amount of technology there, which you're not going to do.
So what we're hoping to do is because a soccer player can't just rely on one kick every single time. It needs to have a plethora of tools at their disposal. And with this soccer ball calling out different commands, it can train every single part of their body to be ready for every single situation in a game.
but how does it know the game situation? I mean, if I understand you right, the ball is going to help you train for different shots, right? Different kicks, right? That's just like a baseball player throwing different pitches, right? How does the ball tell them that? I mean, versus if I'm a pitcher in baseball, I can throw 25 curveballs to perfect my curveball. You can do that in soccer too, right? I mean, so I don't see the interaction between the ball and the human as to how is it smart? How is the ball smart?
So within the soccer ball, we need it to create many different commands because training by yourself can get boring.
There will now.
Okay, guys, I'm big into soccer. I totally get why you're like, want to put something inside a soccer ball that's going to do stuff. The problem is, I think that, like, I really enjoyed your presentation, but I don't know if it really took us to your full, well-thought-out idea, right? And so some of us were left thinking maybe what you want could just be achieved by an app as opposed to putting anything inside the ball. And I think that that's a mistake, right? I think that you probably had some really better ideas, and so we all felt that way. So, this is one of these moments where, we say to ourselves, if it's a marketing thing, we could have done a lot of things just with an app, but if we're going to really make something, probably just needed to get those pinpointed ideas a little bit better. We got to it towards the end of the presentation, right? So it's just something to think about. But thank you, very good job.